Okay, so the next control we want to cover is the value box. Let's go ahead and drag a value box onto our screen. And the first thing we want to do is link it to a tag. Remember, for these examples, we're just using simulation data, so it's not necessarily going to have any specific context, but rather just provides an example here for our training courses. Properties for the value box include the XY axis parameters, along with width and text size and the horizontal alignment. So for the font size, normal is the default setting. Of course, we can change that from extra large to large or small. Let's bump it up to large just so we can view it a little bit easier on the screen. With many of the control properties, they're going to look very similar and will have a lot of the same functions. Looking over at the value format, this allows us to format a timestamp, a value, or a quality. For example, N stands for number and can specify the number of decimal places to display. If we change this to a P, it's now shown as a percentage. Changing it to a C will show us the value in currency. Uppercase E is scientific notation, while lowercase e is exponential formatting. G is general. A full list of format options can be found in our admin documentation. If we go to the application menu and down to tutorials, you can access Axiom tutorials. The tutorial guides can also be accessed by clicking F1 on your keyboard. I'll go ahead and shift this back to number. And remember, the 2 behind it is going to specify the number of decimal places that are displayed for the value. So if we increase this to 4, the value is now showing 4 decimal places. What I'd like to do next is shift the format to time. And to do that, we can simply type time into the value format. The entire timestamp is now displayed for the tag in the format of time. And we have the option to display this format in some various ways, so let's dig into that a little further. We type time, we've now changed the format to show the date, the month, and the year. That order can be changed. And now you see it's displayed this way. Another way to display the value format would be to go beyond the date and include hours, minutes, and seconds to our time. The format can also be used to display quality information. And as you see on the screen, it's displaying a good quality. Let's go ahead and change it back to a value. I can also display a string based on whether the number is positive, negative, or a zero value. The next topic we'll touch on is the value transform. This allows me to use the word value to replace the current value and then do a transformation. So a simple example would be value times 10. And now what we've done is taken the value of our tag and multiplied it by 10. I can also use things like logic statements in the value transform field. Let's go ahead and remove the value transform that we added to the tag. And the next topic I want to discuss is aggregates. We can apply aggregates to our properties here. As you can see, there's a long list of aggregates to choose from. And these have the same applications as they do in the trend graph that we discussed earlier. As you can see, definitions are provided for each aggregate. You can also change the aggregate start time, as well as the aggregate interval. Other things like the color could be changed as well. And that changes the background color of our value box. Keep in mind the background color will stay locked in even if you change the theme of your application. And remember, you can do that under Preferences. Things like buttons will update as the color themes are changed, but the background color of a value box will not change. So that's one thing to keep in mind as you're building out your dashboards and applications.